Welcome to Lillian Osborne High School. We acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory, traditional meeting grounds, gathering place, and traveling route to the Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Métis, Dene, and Nakota Sioux. As an act of reconciliation, we acknowledge all the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit whose footsteps have marked these lands for centuries. Hello, my name is Mike Morris, and it is my distinct privilege and honor to serve as the principal of Lillian Osborne High School, home of the legends. Students and parents, thank you for visiting our website and exploring the many online and virtual tools, videos, and information found throughout. Lillian Osborne is a state-of-the-art facility that offers a rewarding learning experience. Take time to learn more about Lillian Osborne and explore the various programs that we offer in an academic setting structured around rigor and high expectations. At Lillian Osborne, we strive for success by inspiring our students through meaningful learning opportunities that nurture passion, resilience, community, and character. Individual growth and achievement of our students in the areas of academics, the arts, and athletics is supported by our four foundational pillars of passion, resilience, community, and character. Lillian Osborne continues to be a school that is focused on academic excellence. Our students are high achievers and committed to doing their very best in their studies. In addition to our highly successful academic programming, which includes our language programs, French, Spanish, Chinese, and Chinese bilingual, our highly regarded and multifaceted fine arts program, and our very successful athletics program, students at Osborne strive to reach their potential and experience success in the areas that are of interest to them. As a large high school, we are able to offer more than 32 different complementary courses for students to choose from. 25% of our population is also enrolled in our International Baccalaureate program. As an IB World School, Lillian Osborne aims to develop inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring young people. To learn more about IB, make sure to visit the IB page and look at why IB is excellent preparation for post-secondary studies. At Lillian Osborne, three key elements define our school community and contribute to our success. First and foremost, high expectations. Students are expected to demonstrate academic success along with high standards for behavior and conduct. We're proud of our safe, friendly, and inclusive school culture and our emphasis on student engagement and positive behavior. I would encourage you to view the many student and staff videos to get a feeling for what makes Lillian Osborne the special place that it is. Our high expectations are supported through open communication, which is an expectation and priority for us at Lillian Osborne. Our teachers are committed to providing timely information to our students as to how they are achieving in their courses. Making connections with the families of the students that we teach is also an expectation, as we want to work with you to ensure that your child is successful. Parental involvement is a huge component of this relationship, which we strongly value and encourage. Second, academic excellence. We have outstanding academic results. This past year, our data indicated that over 98% of our students successfully completed courses, with more than 76% of our students achieving merit standing or higher. Students are dedicated to their studies and work hard to complete courses so that they can meet the requirements for post-secondary education. Our students do very well compared to the province and other division schools on their diploma exams. We continue to be one of the top performing public schools in the province. The graduation rate for students who attend Lillian Osborne is 93%, compared to the provincial average of 83%. This is an incredible achievement as our students are dedicated and driven to focus on their studies and success. We are so proud of all of our students. The third element to our success is our dedicated staff. We have an amazing staff. Like our students, our staff are passionate about what they teach, both in the classroom and in their area of expertise. Staff members who join our team here at Lillian Osborne remark at the level of collegiality and collaboration that we uphold. And students who attend Lillian Osborne recognize and appreciate the positive energy of our staff. The flexibility and willingness of our staff to meet the individual needs of our students creates a welcoming and positive learning environment for all at Lillian Osborne. The staff at Lillian Osborne are committed to helping each of our students reach their potential, and this commitment to excellence is reflected in the fine results achieved by our students. At Lillian Osborne, we work hard, but we also play hard. One of the things that our students consistently tell us that's an important part of our school culture is the wide and diverse range of extracurricular activities students can choose to be a part of. If you're interested in being part of a band, performing in stage and a drama production in our state-of-the-art theater, joining one of our Legends athletic teams, being engaged in one of the many student associations, or just joining in on a leadership event, there is something for everyone at Lillian Osborne. When you take positive, focused students, combine that with 116 dedicated, committed, passionate staff, add in outstanding programs and option choices, all housed in a fabulous learning environment, you have a formula for success. That is our formula here at Lillian Osborne that helps to create legends. Thank you.
So if I were able to speak with my grade 10 self, that past version of myself that was shying away from opportunities and restricted from being my true self, I would tell them not to back down. It's definitely something that Lillian Osborne helped me to achieve. I really found a community where I could thrive and I could take the challenges that I faced in the past and allow it to cultivate and blossom into something better, into a better version of myself.
To be a legend, it means to be part of the school community, a community of which is full of so many different opportunities. And what you really learn is that through taking advantage of those opportunities, even if they're things that push you out of your comfort zone or if you have no experience in them, it just presents more option for good things to happen in the future.
The most fulfilling part of my high school experience is definitely my time that I spent on student council. I was able to learn the school culture and then be able to share my passion for wanting to bring school spirit back with other people. Senior Sunrise, it definitely was one of my favorite events. In past years, I volunteered, so I would just come in the early morning, take pictures for the seniors who were here to enjoy their time. And this year, as a senior, it felt really good to see younger students willing to put in time and effort to make it a good time for my year.
My most meaningful moment is just the repeated experiences of being, whether it's in the LOHS TV studio, running a club meeting, or just here in a band class. It's going to be those little moments where you can see that you're having an impact on someone else just by being there, just by showing up and having the mindset of wanting to improve.
The most important lesson that I've learned at Osborne is definitely prioritizing which goals are more important for me, and that's through the abundance of opportunities that I've seen here and being able to kind of dip my foot in every single one and then realize that I don't have time for everything. So that kind of forced me into a position of choosing what I enjoy the most and what I can excel at.
I've learned that I enjoy doing new things a lot more than I thought I did. I signed up for LOHS TV and got the role of photographer. And now I am the school's designated photographer. Philosophically, it's helped me a lot to see that there's so much to what you think is there, so much that you can't see. How someone sees something, how their perspective shapes themselves as a person, but also them in the moment, is extremely important just because it shapes everything that comes next. All of their next actions, everything that they think next, is based on how they perceive it in the moment.
One of my favorite sports was basketball, and coming from an old school, making the team and being one of the best players on that team, coming to a bigger high school and not getting acknowledged and getting cut 2 years in a row was kind of tough. So it taught me to be resilient, and it taught me good work ethic because I was able to grind and put some hard work and put some heart and hustle into everything, and obviously paid off my grade 12 season making the senior team. Not giving up kind of just pushes you to the next level, and you're able to achieve something that you never thought that you'd be able to achieve.
Being able to communicate a story or a feeling through the different sounds coming out of these big pieces of metal is just amazing to me. And not only is it just very nice to be surrounded by so many supportive people, and even alone, it gave me the gratitude of knowing that I am making progress towards something. That really helped me and my mentality because it helped me become who I am, where I very much want to improve myself constantly.
Lillian Osborne is a place where you can truly find who you want to be with all of their vast extracurricular opportunities, but not only that, also with education. Even myself, I'm not an IB diploma student, I'm an IB certificate student because I decided that I would do the maths and sciences, which were my topics of interest, to ensure that I had enough time to accommodate for my own schedule, which is jam-packed with various different types of extracurriculars.
I came here being someone who was always in their own shell and in their own world, not having many friends. And, I was kind of just being closed off and not looking for new opportunities, but coming to Osborne, I definitely opened my eye to new opportunities and taking new leaps. And I was able to set goals, and I think now I'm a very goal-driven person.
I'm glad to be someone that my grade 10 self can look up to because I've definitely grown so much in terms of discipline and emotionally and having such a different perspective on life because of the experiences and the challenges I've gone through in the past few years is really eye-opening.
I don't think my grade 10 self would have believed that I am the same person, because I don't believe it as my grade 12 self, mainly because there are so many inherent differences between the way that I thought then and the way that I think now, and how those thoughts even translate into actions, which in grade 10, I thought a lot of things, I just didn't do too much about it. I was very closed in on myself. And now if I'm thinking something, people definitely know it. Throughout all 3 years, what I've learned is if you have opportunities and if there are risks and if there are things that push you out of your comfort zone but give you more opportunities to change, you should take them.
Thank you for joining us. My name is Kirsten Johns-Bell. I'm one of the assistant principals here at Lillian Osborne High School.
And I'm Mr. Robertson, one of the other assistant principals here at Lillian Osborne High School. And we're here to tell you a little bit about Lillian Osborne, our school, our lottery process, and some of the great things that you can kind of expect when you're coming here, and some of the things that you need to do to be able to get into Lillian Osborne High School as well.
What is the lottery process? So Lillian Osborne has grown tremendously in the last several years. And as such, we are level 3 in the division's growth control model. So what that means is that all residents, students who live in our attendance area, will then have an opportunity to be put into the lottery to be able to hopefully come to our school.
So how do I register for Lillian Osborne? If you're a current student registered in Edmonton Public Schools and you live in our attendance area, you'll log into School Zone and onto the Parent School Zone account. And in the navigation bars, it'll be a next year select. And so you're selecting where you're going to go for next year. In that case, you would select Lillian Osborne.
So if I'm currently going to Lillian Osborne, Mr. Robertson, could I use my own login credentials to do this?
As a student, no. Your parent has to be the one that goes in to do that.
Speaking of that, what are some of the deadlines I have to keep in mind?
The deadlines are actually featured on our website. So if you haven't been to our website yet, go to lohs.ca. And you can go to registration, and on that page we have all the important dates for everything. So you're going to have a pre-enrollment date, which is the time period that we're going to be in right now, where you get to choose your school that you'd like to go to next year. After pre-enrollment closes, then we'll go into actually doing the course choices and everything else.
Now I know many students and families are worried about, well, what happens if I don't get selected?
That's, that's kind of a scary situation, isn't it? But we've got that taken care of. So we have an overflow school, which is Strathcona High School, where students that don't get into Lillian Osborne, let's say that you're not drawn. And again, when we talk about drawing in the lottery process, again, this is all done by downtown as well. So we make sure that everything's fair. Everybody has an equal chance of getting into Lillian Osborne, depending on the priority level that you are. And if you're not chosen, you automatically will get to go to Strathcona. Now, let's say that you don't want to go to Strathcona High School. Well, that's okay too. If there's another school that has space, you can select that school at that time. And when we call you, we're going to help you to work through that process. Now, this past year, we did call back 94% of students that applied to Lillian Osborne by September the 30th. So it's a very good chance that not only are you going to get into Lillian Osborne, but you're going to be able to be a student here as well.
So let's say I get through the lottery process and I am selected to attend Lillian Osborne High School starting in the fall. What happens then? How do I get my courses? How do I get started in this journey of high school?
So after you're selected through the lottery process, we're going to kind of tell you a little bit of a few things of what you're going to do. So one of the things that we're going to help you with is we're going to tell you when your junior high school is going to have your course selection date. So once you're pre-enrolled, you're going to come onto the list for Lillian Osborne. In your junior high, we're going to come out there, we're going to help you to walk through that process of how to select your courses. Let's say that as a family, you want to figure out, some of your courses, or you're not sure how high school works, or you got some questions. Well, we're actually going to be sending information out and talking to you on the phone about a very special day that we're going to have for parents and students to be able to come to Lillian Osborne on a Saturday and be able to find a little bit more about our programming, some of the courses that you can take, a little bit of information about IB and other things that'll help you just to kind of navigate that process before we come out to your junior high.
So what I hear you saying, Mr. Robertson, is that the staff here at Lillian Osborne High School are going to help me or help the student that gets into our school figure out what their next steps are. And I don't have to do it by myself. And I have visited the website for Lillian Osborne High School, and I did notice that there's quite a lot of tools to not only prepare for this school, but if I was going to any other high school within the city. And there's a program guide, course planner, and checklists to be able to know what I need to do all the way through to grade 12 for courses and work towards my high school graduation diploma. And I also noticed there's lots of different course pathways too. So, I guess we could tell the family is to just check out our website, and there's lots of information there to help them with this process as well.
Our website is a great tool, and we continually update it. So if anything changes or we need any other information on there, we try to use that as one of our primary tools for not only navigation, but for communication as well.
So we encourage all of the families, whether you are coming to Lillian Osborne High School through the lottery process, or you want to explore other high schools and get a sense of what does it look like. We encourage you to explore our website and other school websites just to have an understanding of course selection and courses and what you need to be able to graduate grade 12. Now, I know a lot of students that are coming into high school, whether it be through the lottery process or it just be you're currently in high school and you're wanting to maybe fast track or you're wanting to upgrade. What are some ways that students can do that? I hear there's this thing called summer school.
Summer school registration will open up through Metro in March, and then you'll have an opportunity to be able to choose some courses that you'd like to take for either getting ahead or some courses that maybe don't fit in your timetable when you're doing your Oscaring. A lot of our grade 9 students coming in want to take phys ed or CALM or some of those types of courses just to kind of get a little bit ahead. So we kind of leave it at that for most of our grade 9 students coming in.
A full schedule, what does that look like in high school? If I'm coming in, I know it's a little bit different than junior high. So what does that look like for a typical student?
That's probably one of the biggest questions and one of the things that we see most often from our students that are coming in from junior high. So our courses work a little bit different than they do in junior high. We have what's called a semestered system. So that means that you would have 4 courses a semester. A semester runs from September until January, the end of January, and then starts again usually at the beginning of February and goes to the end of June. In each of those semesters, you'll have 4 courses. Once that semester's done, then you shift to the next semester, and then we start all over again. You're gonna have the same class at the same time every day for an entire semester, and we do it by blocks as well. So you have a block 1, a block 2, a block 3, and a block 4.
So give me kind of an example of a grade 10 timetable, what some of the courses that I might be looking at taking.
Most of our grade 10s are going to do their core subjects. So you're going to have a science course, you're going to have a social studies course, an English course, and a math course. Now those can be at different levels. Math starts with Math 10C. Unless you really struggled in junior high math, then you might do Math 10-3. Social studies has 2 different levels. They have a 10-1 and 10-2. And English has a 10-1 and 10-2 as well. So it depends on how well you did in grade 9. You'd get to choose each of those levels. And the great thing is that our Oscar program that you'll use for selecting courses will help and assist you in which courses you should be choosing. Science has a common science, which is Science 10. Unless, again, you really struggled, then you might go to Science 14. Then you get to choose some electives. What we ask all students in grade 10 to do is to take phys ed, because we combine that with a course that you're going to need for graduation, which is called CALM. And then you get a couple of other courses that you might want to take as option courses. Those could be drama, they could be taking fashion studies or computer sciences or robotics. You could also look at construction or fashion studies, I think I said already. So any of those courses would be great courses to take. And we've got all kinds of options that you can look at to kind of fill those other 2 or 3 spots that students have in their timetable, to fill it up to the 8 that we want students to take in grade 10.
So I know you've mentioned a lot of different courses, and wow, is there a lot of choice in high school? And there is, but we really want you to explore again our website where it has all the different options, or the high school that you might be going to in your near future.
Now, I know, Ms. Johns-Bell, you work with some of our amazing counselors here. Can you tell our students and our families a little bit about our counseling department and some of the other supports they can expect here?
Yeah, so we have a department called Student Services, and where we work with each of us assistant principals has an alpha group. So we do A through G, H to O, and P to Z. And there's also a counselor that is attached to that group too. And they're here to really work and support students in a variety of different ways, whether that means that, students are feeling a little anxious coming into school, or they don't know, even where their classes are, they just need some extra help, or they need some academic programming support, or they just need to talk because, they just had a really bad day with their friends at lunch. So there's lots of opportunities to get support here, as well as we also have an inclusive coordinator that helps students with special needs to be able to get the programming and supports that they need. And we encourage, parents that if they have students with special needs and they are selected through the lottery process, to then get in contact with their assistant principal or the counseling department to help support in that transition.
And one of the great things is that the APs and the counselors will be the ones that are going out to help students select these courses. So if you have some questions, you're not sure about this high school experience and this transition, be a great time to ask some of those questions. Start making some of those connections with some of the people that you're going to get some help with.
So above all, just to summarize today, we just want you to feel as comfortable as you can, as informed as you can in your next step into high school. Remember, we're all in this together, and we're all here to support you. And if you have any questions about the lottery process, please feel free to reach out to our school, and we'll be happy to have conversations around that. And here at Lillian Osborne High School, we're known as the Legends. So as you go forth in your next journey, we wish you all the luck, and remember to always be legendary.
Hi, my name's Jane Taylor. I'm the IB coordinator at Lillian Osborne School. And today I'd like to tell you a little bit about what the IB program is and how we offer it here at Osborne. First of all, what is the IB program? Most of you know that it's an international program. It's very holistic. It includes problem solving, inquiry thinking, and a lot of academic skills. It's the best preparation for university. It's challenging and rigorous. When we say rigorous, we mean that it takes students outside of their comfort zone. The IB mission statement describes the philosophy of the IB organization. If you just look at some of the descriptor words in this mission statement, you'll see what IB aims to achieve. We want to make our students knowledgeable, caring, intercultural, international, and to be active, compassionate, and lifelong learners. Why should you take IB? Because it develops the whole person. These are some of the learner profile attributes that teachers will emphasize in class. Academic skills are developed more than they are in the Alberta curriculum. There's a lot more problem solving, a lot more creation of ideas. Time management becomes really important. Students do a lot of practical skills like oral exams, dances, art, exhibitions, etc. Universities absolutely love IB students. This is because they find that these students are better prepared for the expectations of university. First off, they're more likely to succeed because of these academic skills they learned in high school. And they also are the students who tend to get the most involved in the university, the different clubs and events that are happening. This is some evidence to show you how IB students do have greater success in university. You can see that the IB cohorts always have either a greater grade point average or a greater percentage of successful candidates. This is my favorite bit of data. It shows you the correlation between the degree that a student comes into university with and their chance of success. And you'll see that the IB diploma has the greatest correlation with success. Alberta is quite good at 0.59, but IB is even better at 0.66. Because the universities recognize the value of these IB students, they tend to try to encourage students to go to their university. In fact, they often compete with each other. So they'll give certain benefits to IB students. For one thing, most universities will use either the Alberta or the IB grade when determining whether to accept students or not. And they have a favorable grade conversion. The IB grade scale is out of 7, and they convert it to a percentage, as you can see on this table. Most of the universities also give transfer credit for IB courses. For example, if you look at English A Literature, HL, if a student achieves a 6 out of 7 at U of A, they will get an English 100 level course credit. At UBC, if they get a 5, a 6, or a 7, they'll get an English first year course, and so on. You need to look at each individual university's websites to find out which IB courses a student can get advanced credit in. Okay, what is the IB diploma? Students who are completing the full IB diploma will complete 6 IB subjects with at least 3 at the higher level, and they'll do the IB core, which consists of an extended essay, a 4,000-word essay in a subject of the student's choice, theory of knowledge courses over grade 11 and 12, and creativity, activity, and service. This is where students will get out in the world and do things. They can be active, do volunteer work, be creative, so that they're getting outside of that academic shell. Of the 6 subjects that students have to take, 1 has to be from each of groups 1 to 5 plus 1 other subject. I'll go through these details in a minute. What we offer at Lillian Osborne is in group 1, English literature at the higher level. In group 2, we have Mandarin at the intermediate level, Mandarin BSL, and Mandarin BHL at the advanced level. Mandarin AB means beginner Mandarin. French is intermediate, and Spanish is beginner Spanish. For group 3, we offer global politics at the higher level, and this is students learn this course with their social studies classes. In group 4, the sciences, we have biology and computer science at higher level, chem and physics at standard level. Group 5, students take math, analysis, and approaches at the standard level. Now, the 6th subject can either be a group 6 subject, which is one of the arts, or it can be another group 4 subject, or it could be another language. All right, so I'm going to talk about now what the difference between SL and HL is. SL teaches knowledge up to about a grade 12 level of study and the IB academic skills that are so useful in university. HL subjects, the knowledge goes up to first year university with the same academic skills that the standard level subjects cover. So here's an example of somebody's program with 3 higher level courses. If you were interested in healthcare in the future, instead of group 6, this student would take 2 sciences. If you had an interest in engineering or science, instead of taking an art, you might take computer science at the higher level and physics at the standard level. You see there are still 3 or higher level subjects, and the student is meeting the requirement of the 6 subjects. If you're interested in the humanities or arts, or if you want to have a more well-rounded education, you might select 1 course from each of the 6 groups. Diploma students also complete the core that I mentioned briefly. There's the extended essay, which is started in March of grade 11 and finished in January of grade 12. Theory of knowledge, which is, there are 2 classes, TOK 25 in grade 11 and TOK 35 in grade 12. And then there's CAS. And with CAS, there is a CAS coordinator who helps the students do the required reflections on their activities. What is partial IB? A lot of students don't want to do the full diploma. You can take as many IB courses as you want, any number, any combination. But you do have to be aware that sometimes we can't fit the combination you've chosen into your timetable. For example, this year, students could not take more than 2 IB sciences. So when they wanted a 3rd or 4th science, it had to be regular because they're often placed in the same teaching block. If you want to get credit for an IB subject, you have to complete the entire stream from grade 10 to grade 12. This shows you a few examples. Math 10 and 20 are done in grade 10, Math 30 in grade 11, Math 31 in grade 12. At that point, the student writes the IB exams and can get credit for IB Math. And you'll notice at the bottom, Science 10 in grade 10, and then if you're choosing biology, you need to take Biology 20 and Biology 35 in grade 11, and then Biology 30 in grade 12, then write the IB exams. This is how we offer TOK Extended Essay and CAS. TOK is a regularly scheduled class, whereas CAS is done ongoing on a student's time. Will there be more work? Yes, there's definitely more work because you have to learn and develop the skills that go along with IB. So it seems quite different from the work you do in a regular course, mostly because of these skills. What I find is when alumni come back to visit, they often tell me that doing IB courses made a huge difference in university, that they felt that they were well prepared and they were ahead of the other kids. So it's a good idea to take as much education as you can into your university years. Will your marks be lower? My answer is no, because our IB classes learn exactly the same as regular, but in more depth, and it's more inquiry-based. The students are so well prepared because of learning extra, but they have the same exams as the regular kids, so the marks actually tend to be higher. Now there are some cases where the marks will be lower. Since there is more work in IB, if a student is struggling with the workload, their marks might be lower. And by dropping some IB classes or all IB classes, it may give them more time to work on the basic courses. So if a student is in that situation, they should speak to me or one of the counselors to get some advice on how to change their program. Pre-IB is what your students will be coming into in grade 10. It's because IB program is actually only a 2-year program, but in the Americas, most of our high schools have grade 10, 11, and 12. So IB says, well, you can do a pre-IB program for those kids to prepare them for what they'll get in grade 11 and 12. So now comes the course selection. If you want to do the full IB diploma when you come into grade 10, these are the courses you would select. English 10 pre-IB, whichever language you choose, social studies, math 10 and math 20, science 10, and your 7th subject might be computer science if you want to continue in computer science throughout high school. Or you can take another course if you're happy with not taking, like if you don't want to take computer science, you can just leave that one off. Your 8th subject could be an IB art if you want to continue in an IB art or whatever you want. Some of our kids will take Phys Ed 10 Com 20, which is a combined course. It's required to get an Alberta diploma, so it could fit into one of those 2 spots. Many people take a 20-level non-IB science. For example, if they're IB sciences, they're planning to take biology and chemistry, then they might take physics 20 in grade 10. They can also have a course, one of the options that are available. Students are limited to only 8 courses, but in grade 10, there is space for a couple of options, even with only 8 courses. Some students have already completed Science 10. This would be the kids from Grandview. If that's the case, you can go directly into Chemistry 20 and 35 or Physics 20 and 35. You just have to be aware that when it comes to grade 12, we have to see how scheduling works to see if you can actually fit the grade 12 subject when you get into grade 11. If you completed Math 10 in junior high, you cannot accelerate IB Math. You have to take Math 20 in the 2nd semester of grade 10. Many people ask about summer school. We recommend that students take the Phys Ed 10 Com 20 in summer school, giving those extra 2 courses for other things. What does it take to be an IB student? These are the important traits. You do not have to have top marks. Much more important is your desire to learn and your work ethic. I look forward to seeing you next year.